Hello there. Thank you for writing me back. I'm using a tape because my hands are tired of flying. I just got through in a severe, intense combat flight simulator 100% competitive battle to the end. I still fly that game. Talking about the arrestor cable files, of course. My name is Steve Hinson. And I think your work is fantastic. What you did. It did surprise me to see those numbers like that because I have never used them like that. And I knew that you had the DAT file, but I knew there was something to do with the revision. You never did say certain things to me in the README file about it. And I said, well, the only way is it's got to be a new version. And you're using a different method. But the results are the same. You get the trap, and I know what you mean about raising the deck up. I mean, raising the zone up above the deck. Mine sits flat in a 2D plane, so it makes it. And I keep my tolerance down to about 10 or 15. I sometimes open it up to 20 degrees left or right of the heading of the cat. I mean of the trap runway. I call it runway 1, whatever. Runway 2. I don't know. I just call it. I offset it 7.5 degrees to the left of my aft cat. I add a runway on top of the deck. That way I can get the ILS and the markers out there. I put markers out on mine. It's because I fly in real weather a lot, and in San Francisco is a perfect spot. I have 8 or 9 carriers I've made. I had more at one time, and I just took them off the board, or I decided not to use them. I put them in scenery sets. If you ever want to download any of my carriers, USS Joe Foss Rev 1, I adjusted the lights a little bit better. It's a Rev 1 USS Joe Foss. Joe Foss. Now, I think it's called, the actual file name is ussfoss.zip, rev1, r1.zip or something like that. But it's in, if you just go to avsim, it's only 3 megabytes. Avsim, type in my name, Steve Hinson, and search for that, and you'll see all my files. My Rev 4 bird's already got, like I was telling my friend on the internet over in England, we were flying, he's in England, and we were flying CFS1. I love that game. It's a lot of fun. I wish FS9 would have put more effort into putting a DP file on certain planes and have a separate section to fly like combat. But nonetheless, well, I guess what I'm getting at is I like your setup. It's pretty cool. I went ahead and zoned them out to mine. I see how you did your zoning, and I was wondering, well, what device did you use if you're not using RC? I use RCB20, RCBCO-20, version 2, and the RCB stands for naturally Robert C. Badanjet. He's in the Netherlands, and Doug Dawson assisted him with the XML sheets, and Nick Needham, who does the light fix for the runways and all that, and the dust tricks and all. He's into light effects. He did the vapor cloud for the Mark 1 barrier breach, and Doug did the sound effects for the XML DSD sound files. It's a pretty interesting file set. It's not very big. It's not hard to put together. It's a matter of some gauges and a couple of folders and putting certain sound sets and certain things. But what's really exciting is the FXX version of his COP package, Carrier Operations Package 3.0, is made for moving carriers. He uses a global landing zone for that. And I've tried it already, and it's awesome. You go into one of those missions with the carriers, and you can actually cat off the thing and turn around and come around and land on a moving carrier, which no boat will do that. No carrier package will do that right now. The boat has to be static because you have to have a locatable landing zone. You got to have something to zero in on, and so the trap will become active. And this way, the way he set it up is something I tried long ago, and it just is amazing. People were writing me, hey, I can catch my tail hook on the runway at Casey. I go, well, you know, you guys were complaining you couldn't land on the damn thing, so I go ahead and fix it so you could. And so now you're complaining because you can't. You landing everywhere. I said, don't use your tail hook. As simple as that. You know, I mean, just keep your tail hook up and land. You're not going to have a problem. But, you know, after a while I changed it back to, I said, okay, you're having too much, you want it tighter? I'll put it so tight you won't land on the thing. So I put it down to 5%, you know. It's like, hey, I can't land on this thing. It's too hard. I said, well, practice. You'll get there. I said, I got real Tomcat friends, that are pilots, ex-pilots of the Tomcat, and they tell me, hey, I like it, set it down tighter, man. And when they get on that thing, they fly it one time, and they land on the first trap, first go-round, the first go, and they're trapping at night. And I'm like, jeez, they are Tomcat pilots. They are good. And they said it's pretty realistic, and they've tried you guys, the Alpha Sims versions and all that, not you guys, but the Alpha Sim version, Abacus. But they don't like to pay for that stuff. I mean, most of us just wanted something free, and, I'm glad you did something free like that. That's cool. The Ark is really nice. I was impressed. I have an Ark. I use a Nimitz class. Of course, it's not the same shape or form, and it's longer. The real Ark is only 800-something feet, but, who cares? It's a landing zone. That's all it was. I used to fly off the Ark in CFS-1. I still got the setup for it. I mean, I used to fly my Spitfire without a tail hook. I mean, you just had the flaps down and come in and stall and flop it on the end of the deck and hope to God your brace caught. That's all. It was fun. We had contests on that. If you ever flew CFS-1, it was always no shooting or kicked out. We're going to land on the Ark. And it was hard. It was very hard. It was not an easy task to do. And that's why I first got interested in carriers. I'm a former B-52 crew chief, and I flew with the bomber section for 8th Air Force, and SAC, Strategic Air Command, for 9 years. And I'm a journeyman maintenance mechanic, senior tech level, and it's amazing I can't get a job on the airlines because they still want me to puddle hop first. They want me to work on these puddle hoppers, washing windshields. I said, no way, man. I work on 8 engines. I don't work on those little single-engine puddle hoppers. 4-cylinder opposing, I call them lawnmower engines. He said, yeah, but those are Lycom's. I said, yeah, we use those in our MD3 generator packs. We generate electricity with them. That's how good they are. He said, oh. Well, I said, well, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you that's the way it is, So you're wondering why I'm using this talkie. Well, I invented this little tool to communicate because I hate typing. Typing is archaic. It's outdated. It doesn't express yourself the way a talk tape will do. And if you have the Odyssey card, you can actually, or the Live 5.1 Creative Sound Blaster card, you can actually make a WAV file and at full wave size, and then convert it over to an MP3 and change the frequencies and the speed rates, and get this thing to compress down to practically nothing. From a 30 megabyte file, it can go all the way down to probably 3 or 4 megs, depending on the speed of the tape. I call it tape, it's something easy to understand. It's all electronic digital stuff anyway. It's mono. It's simple. It's easier. You can hear me. You get to know me better. Yeah, if you ever need anything like that, just go in there and any site, just type in my name. And if you want to see all the files, I have over 140,000 verifiable. Just go to the best one to go to is Simviation. They got half my downloads there. I got a carrier operation package that's been on the line there for a year, and it's got over 55,000 downloads, and it shocked the crap out of me. See, that was my very first setup I ever built, put together. I got the Waikato, and I did my panels and everything, and I did my config sheets, and because they said the F-16 would never land on a carrier. Well, I had a bet riding on that, so I made it land on the carrier, and it proved them wrong, and they were in shock, and everybody started downloading it, and I just put everything together. What it is, the plane didn't have an afterburner, I put one on. Didn't have the special effects for the traps, I put it on. Didn't have the traps on the carriers, I built a carrier. And then the Waikato already had one, that got me turned on to building them. But I only have one model to use, and that's the Stennis, from Paul Clausen. Paul Clausen's a buddy of mine. He's over in Long Beach, I think, California. Not positive on his location now. He goes to the Netherlands a lot and sees his friend Rob. So I've been in the business for a little while. I've flown that since FS5, and I find that the best thing about FS9 is the ability for us to develop these programs and stuff to really make the game look good. So if you want a good fighter, I consider it, I'm not bragging, I consider this FDE based on opinion and downloads and lack of anybody saying anything. I mean, if they say they can't load the thing and they don't know how to install, they don't still know how to use Windows. I made it as simple as I can get. It's just folder copy. Open it up, copy the slop into the other folder, the same name. Gauges, take the whole guts of one folder from the download, slow it into the other gauge folder from that. I mean, how much easier do you want? You want me to do it for you? I tell them, I said, look, guys, you want me to do it for you? I'll go ahead and just do it for you, and I'll send you the whole filing system of my files, and then you don't have to do nothing but play it. I said, you got to learn how to use Windows, and you got to use that, learn to use that Windows Explorer. Anyway, I'm really proud of that. You did a good job on that. I use the position display gauge to get my locations. It goes out to that many places. I think it goes out six places, and that's really all you need. At the 6 places, it goes down to about 2 feet. 1 digit off on 6 places, about 1 to 2 feet off in linearity. That's what it trigs out to be. I've already computed that out. So, it's close enough. And I keep my tolerance down to about 10 or 15 degrees on the heading, on the fly-in. The wave off, I move in close to the stern about. I give the guys a break. They want to land, They want to land. They don't want to sit there. Nobody likes to fly around their boat all day long and try to figure this thing out. And they only get 3 hits out of 10 tries. That's not fair. I mean, they're tired. They want to play. They want to land. So I make it so it's kind of fair and it's kind of tough. I mean, my first time around, after I built the thing, put it all together, it was hard for me to get it together. But now I make movies out of it, and I just flop around, name the carrier after my wife. I go to Tahiti and put carriers there, and land classes I get, and it's pretty cool. Hey, if you got anything else you got up on the boards, let me know. I'm interested in looking at your work. You know what you're doing there, and I'm impressed with that. I like to hobnob around with the guys that know what's happening, because there's very few of us left, if you know what I mean. I'm 51. I'm getting up there. I'm about to retire, because I've been doing this for not just in this game, but in other games. Helping people. I didn't really do it on my own until I got in the FS9, because I saw there were so many tools for us to do it with. And I'm impressed with that setup you got. Like I said, pass the word to Ian and those guys. It's a good job on that arc. I like it. I'm going to keep it. I download other people's boats. I'm not too proud. Hey, if it works, it works. It saves me the time building one. It takes me 2 days to put one together. I mean, it does. You know how long it takes to do those trap zones? Man, they're not easy. Shoot, people think, just build me a new carrier and stick it over here, and it don't have no landing points. They go, well, yeah, you're gonna do the zones. What's that? I said, read the instruction sheet I gave you. I don't know how to do that. I said, I gave you everything you need. What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? And you did a really, really honorable thing in doing that, because I was going to do it, and I said, well, I'll do it to 1 and see how it works out. And 1 worked fine. And I said, I'll just keep it there. I fly off of 1 for a while, and I go to the other one. I make, as long as it has an ILS nav 1 on it, or a nav 2 ILS system, or a VOR, or an NDB I can locate to, I'll track it to it with GPS, and I can sit back and watch it, drink a soda, and watch my TV or something on. And when it gets there, I fly to it and land. It's fun. Listen, I'll let you go. I won't bother you no more about this. I just was questioning some ideas that you had. I wanted to share some knowledge, and appreciate you sharing with me. And nobody else will understand if I tell them anyway. So you don't have to worry about me telling anybody, because there's very few people that understand what we know. You know that. You know damn well what I'm talking about. It's very few people that understand this stuff, and that's what makes us a rare gem in the rough. I mean, we're not. I think it's not even it's more than a rough. It's a divot hole. We're buried in it, and we're barely able to come out and see what our own work is like, because we're too busy fixing it all up. Anyway, good luck. God bless, and may you always travel toward the North Star. Fly high and keep the tarmac below you. Bye-bye, my friend. Talk to me anytime you want. Bye.